All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a truly rare and utterly amazing piece of functional art here for you. That's the best way that I know how to describe what you're about to take a look at. I hope that you will enjoy it as much as I've had the pleasure of enjoying this cue. This is the first time that this cue has been made available. We are honored right here at Crossroad Cues to introduce you to the Florida cue, made by the hands of the late great Hall of Fame master cue maker from Shreveport, Louisiana, Mr. Bill Schick. All of the white material in this cue, the joint, the tip of the pin, all of the inlays in the boxes, the arrows going up and down, the spearheads, the butt cap, the ferrules, everything is notably natural material. It's the real McCoy. It was made, this cue was completed 10/10 of '08, as you can see right there. This was all made pre-band date. Look at that beautiful, beautiful material right there. Florida cue. All of the scrimshaw in this cue that I'm going to get into you with in just a moment, notably was done by Bill Schick in his shop in Shreveport, Louisiana. What a magnificent example of his work. I must give credit where it's due. This cue would not be possible for us to exemplify, showcase, and ultimately offer you for sale here at Crossroad Cues if not for a couple of people that are very important to me. So first and foremost, I want to thank another Hall of Fame master cue maker that's a great friend and a mentor to us and to many people within the cue world, among other things. I want to thank Paul Drexler. Paul, who needs no introduction, from up in Connecticut, has put out some amazing work, needless to say, over the years. He's as awarded as you're going to ever find for a cue maker, and a lot of his work is unparalleled, unmatched. Paul is the reason why this cue is available here. Paul's a real good friend and now a great friend of ours through our business relationships and friendship. Mr. Bob Peice was the one that actually had this cue commissioned. So Bob Peice is the owner of the prestigious Peice collection in Sarasota, Florida. Hence the reason why this is the Florida cue. Bob commissioned Bill Schick to build this cue for him as a very special one-of-one custom order. And I want to just point out a few of the interesting things about this cue. So obviously with it being called the Florida cue, it is themed for the state of Florida. Although I have a feeling that the really fortunate collector that gets this may not even be in Florida, because that doesn't matter. It is a masterful piece of functional art made by one of the best of the best of the best that is unfortunately no longer with us. And I just want to take a moment and pause and say, God rest, may God allow Mr. Bill Schick to rest in peace as his legacy continues on. With the recent passing of Bill Schick, his work has continued to climb in value, and it's always been really sought after. One interesting thing about Bill's work, besides the fact that they play incredible, I mean, absolutely jam up. Every Bill Schick cue I've ever hit a ball with has been something that is just in a league of its own. I mean, as far as playability goes, but his work was primarily all done by hand. So these boxes that you see here, and I'm going to point some of them out to you, they are scrimshawed. into white natural material. You've got some Disney characters here. I mean, the attention to detail is just amazing. You've got some flamingos. Of course, you have to have the Daytona 500. You got to have the Florida Gators in there. You got some waterfront exhibits here showing Florida. There's the famous bridge right there. There you go. And of course, you've got NASA, the Space Center there, among many other things. Some flamingos. There are white spearheads, and dots above and below each of the boxes. Again, all natural material at the joint, the pin, and everything else. Very nice lizard belly wrap. The butt rolls perfectly straight. Really nice old growth maple shafts that have been, as I said in my write-up, aged like fine wine. Just a slight bit of taper roll in the center of the shafts. No big deal there. You've got the standard 1-inch natural material at the ferrules. And then this comes with a matching set of joint protectors that was also made, of course, by Bill Schick. The snakewood in this cue is exhibition grade. I mean, it is really pretty. You can kind of pick that up under the lights. The pictures in the video are never going to be able to capture the true beauty and majesty of this particular cue. What I like about it is, as my good friend Kevin always speaks about, the providence. It has a handwritten letter from the now late great cue maker, of course, Mr. Schick, and he's writing the letter, and he says there's cues that cue makers basically make, and you never forget them, and that's kind of what he goes into in that letter. He was talking about how fun the project was for him and how much he enjoys doing the theme cues. And he talks about how memorable this cue was. And he talks about how Bob Price really likes snakewood cues, and I've had the pleasure of selling some of his snakewood cues. And then, of course, it's signed. Best wishes, Bill Schick. So there you go. If you want to level up your collection, no matter what level your collection is at, I promise you this is a piece that you do not want to miss out on. We are selling it below the appraisal value. I've talked to some experts on Schick cues and just high-end cues in general. This cue could go for thousands more. This could be a $14,000 or $15,000 cue, being that it's a one-of-a-kind with all of the natural material. And notably, it's been kept in new condition in the prestigious Price collection. Again, this is the first time that it will be available to the public, and I have a feeling it will be the last. Whoever gets this will definitely be putting it away. It's already been a safe queen, and it belongs in somebody's collection that's really going to enjoy this cue. And we are making it available now for only $10,750, which is a ton of value. Schick cues just continue to climb and climb and climb. Go ahead and send us an email through our website, crossroadcues.com. My number is on the top of the post or the bottom, depending on where you're looking at this at. Please share it out if you get an opportunity. We are notably one of the most respected and reputable cue dealers in the country and now the world. This cue cannot be shipped internationally. It must be either picked up in person or we can ship it to some select states at our discretion, of course, based upon the natural material that was made back in 2008 in this cue. Thank you again for taking a look. It's been a pleasure for me to show it to you. Hope that somebody buys it real fast because it's definitely tempting for me to keep in our private collection here at Crossroad Cues. Check it out at crossroadcues.com. Thanks for taking a look.